So you say you have some doubts about this story. Some things don't add up. What stands out to you and why?
What's going on, guys? So I know all of you have to have heard about Carlee Russell by now, right? She went missing the other day after calling about a toddler walking down the side of the road. She pulls over to help the toddler and then she disappears. Her phone and her Apple Watch are left in her car. There's no toddler, there's no Carlee. Nobody's there. But they have a camera. And the camera caught the car and it caught her pull over and get out the car and walk around the car. It doesn't show any toddler. It looks like there's a shadow that runs across the sign at some point, but you can't see anybody or who it is or if it's something else. We don't know what that is. It just looks like a shadow going across the sign, maybe a head or something, right? And then suddenly there's a massive manhunt for Carlee because she's missing. Nobody knows where she is. People think that somebody has used a child as bait and put them beside the highway so that a good person like Carlee would pull over and stop and try to help that toddler, and then they could take her, right? And if they took her, God knows what would happen. When you have her calling her family and the police to report a child walking down the side of the road, and then she stops to help that child and she goes missing, and anything that you can use to track her is left behind in the car. The camera doesn't show anybody do anything. We don't know what happened to Carlee. Everybody's talking about it. It's a viral sensation. Everybody wants to know, where did Carlee go? She just disappeared off the side of the road, left her car there, left her phone there. What about the child? Where did the child go? Did she park and get a ride with somebody else? What happened? We don't know. We don't know what's going on, but she's missing and we need to find her. And this story makes national news. All the big networks, all the big YouTubers, all the small YouTubers, everybody's talking about Carlee Russell and where she could be. And then 48 hours later, she walks into her parents' front door. They report it, obviously. She goes to the hospital. She gets checked out. She gets released. The police did a report, I guess. And yet we've heard nothing.
Well, there are a lot of issues that are occurring in this story. Number one, being from Central Alabama, there has been no BOLO, no be on the lookout for suspects. And the Hoover Police Department has been very, very, very quiet about this. If there is someone who was abducting women on the side of the road, we would have descriptions. We would know who they were. We would know what kind of cars to look for, because all of us who live in the area were really on pins and needles for the whole weekend.
So it really makes you start to think, what's going on here? Is she okay? Did somebody take her? Was there a child being used as bait for somebody to scoop in and grab that good person who stops to help the child? Or was there ever a child at all? Is this some kind of psychosis? Something triggered her and she started hallucinating, seeing a child that wasn't there, reporting it, and then wandering off and being lost, right? Could that have happened? We don't know. We don't know what happened because they haven't told us anything.
So how do investigators go about tracking her, do you believe, validating or invalidating the story that she told law enforcement?
Well, one of the things that they have is video. Hoover Police Department released video in reference to where her car stopped, because what do people do when they are not very truthful about events? They forget that there's video camera everywhere.
But the fact that they haven't told us anything, and this could be people snatching people off the side of the road using a toddler, who's not going to stop for a toddler? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to pull over if there's somebody that I feel like could overpower me or possibly have a weapon. I'm not going to pull over and give them a ride unless there's some reason I feel comfortable doing that, right? But a child, you can tell me all day long that human traffickers are using that as bait. And I'm still going to pull over if I see a child on the side of the road, because I can't be so paranoid and leave a toddler walking on the side of the road. So that's a scary thing to have to think about, that human traffickers could use something like that. And they're going to get you every time, because nobody with a conscience could leave a child, a defenseless, innocent child who doesn't know any better, beside a busy highway. But what about when nobody else reported that there was a toddler on the side of that busy highway?
When what they're going to do is they're going to track her cell phone, see where she went. They're going to look at, from what I understand, she was at a local motel, and they're going to pull camera footage from there. They will also ask to speak to people who may be persons of interest, people who may have helped her, people who may have seen her, and her friends and family and close people to her, to see exactly what they say occurred if they saw her that weekend.
When it's not on any of the cameras down through there either, especially the one where she pulled over, it's not there. Nobody else saw this toddler. She saw it, she pulled over, she stopped, she got taken. Think about that for a minute. Does that seem logical? It doesn't seem logical to me. Now, I have a lot of theories, right? What I think might have happened. But I don't know if it's appropriate to share those theories right now.
The statement where they say there was they stated she called and said that there was a child on the side of the road. However, this I-459, the interstate, is a very, very heavily traveled interstate, and no one else saw what she claimed to see. So it's a lot of mystery behind this, a lot of tension, and people are actually relieved that she's fine, but really want to know what the whole story is.
I think we should wait for their report, what she said happened, what's going on, before we just start making assumptions that it wasn't something. Because it doesn't seem like the police would be silent if there were people snatching people off the side of the road. That's all I'm saying. But the police are being silent. Why? Well, that's for you to decide. Because until the police say what they believe, until we get the rest of the story, I don't think that it's appropriate to say, oh, well, she ran off and she did this and she did that without evidence of that. If she did do that, there will be evidence of that. It will come out. They have cameras everywhere. The motel she said she was at has cameras. Where she stopped her car had cameras. Places in town, anywhere she would go, has cameras, right? The hotel, somebody had to check in, right? So who was that? There would be answers coming out, but there's not. What's going on? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel to see more, hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.